When most people think about retirement, they imagine being on warm, sunny beaches or exotic tropical locations, or just spending their entire day at a luxury golf course. But retirement is really much more than that. It's having the peace of mind of knowing that your daily living expenses are fully covered. It's the freedom you experience from having your 9 to 5 back to do whatever you want. And it's the ease you feel of knowing that you'll never have to fill out another TPS report.
You didn't put one of the new cover sheets on your TPS reports?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry about that. I forgot.
Yeah. You see, we're putting the cover sheets on all TPS reports now before they go out. Did you see the memo about this?
But sadly, it's projected that over 64% of Americans won't have enough money saved up by the time they reach their early 60s to effectively get to that retirement stage. I know, it's concerning. So, to avoid that fate, here are 5 things that you can do, things that'll help you ensure you're in good shape by the time you want to retire. Welcome back to Daniel's Brew. If you're new here, be sure to check out my other personal finance related videos by clicking here on this playlist. And you can also check out my website, danielsbrew.com, for even more content. Alright, so back to the topic. The first thing you should do in order to set yourself up for retirement is to establish your baseline standard of living. You see, the first step in retirement planning is to know exactly how much money you need to cover all of your living expenses on a regular basis. Now, if you maintain a regular budget like I do, it's easy to figure out what your monthly and your yearly cost of living is. You simply take all of your expenses, your rent, mortgage, car payments, utilities, food, etc., and simply average out all of the monthly costs for the last few years to get to a standard yearly projection. But when you're retirement planning, it's also important to take that a step further and visualize what your lifestyle might look like at that life stage. For example, when you retire, you might want to travel a bit more, so you should bake in the costs of a few extra trips throughout the year. You might also want to downsize your home to eliminate your mortgage or reduce the number of car payments that you have, and maybe even kick your kids off the family plan and make them pay for their own cell phones. Most people find that when they reach retirement age and they're no longer going into work every day, and their children are all grown up and have left the house, that they can actually reduce quite a bit of their normal day-to-day spending. The point I'm making here is that we need to visualize what we think our estimated lifestyle and living cost will be in the future, as opposed to considering just what the current state of our expenses are now. And that way we don't over or underestimate how much we need in retirement. Having a good estimation of your retirement costs will help you refine your overall savings plan, which is a critical piece of the puzzle before moving on to the second step in this video. Now, once you know what your regular living costs will be in retirement, the second step is to determine how much money you need to save in your core position for that money to bring in the necessary passive income to cover that living cost number in retirement. This means you need to establish a budget and a savings investing plan that'll hit that core number before you retire. And one of the hard truths you have to recognize is that in order to build enough wealth to retire, you have to get to a point where you're covering your entire living costs on a regular basis and still have money left over to invest. You need that surplus money because you need to be able to send them out into the market and have them earn money and bring that back to you. This is the fastest way for you to grow and amplify the value of your earned capital. If you're not sure exactly what I mean, then I've created several videos addressing this topic, so make sure you check those out by clicking here or finding those links below in the description section. Now, number 3 on this list is to make sure that you pay off your house or any other major debt before you retire. The biggest shackles most people have that's holding them back from financial freedom are mortgages, large car payments, and student loan debts. Some people spend a lifetime paying off these debts, and they never ever achieve the financial freedom that they're looking for. So, how do you avoid this? Well, the easiest way is to live your life below your means and try to pay for large purchases in cash. If you have the means to purchase a $300,000 home with a 30-year loan of $150K, but instead decide to pull your cash together and buy a $200,000 home instead with no loan, then for the next 30 years, you'd be mortgage free and you'd have more freedom with your income, that income that would have otherwise gone to your house payments. That's the state you want to be when you retire. Not only does it give you financial leeway, but psychologically, the effect of not having a home or large debt payment is incredibly liberating, and it'll give you peace of mind to weather any large economic situation that may come down the line in the future, like another recession or the need to pay for a wedding. Now, of course, this is easier said than done, and I'm not saying that you should never have a mortgage. In the course of your life, there are undoubtedly times where having a mortgage is not only prudent, but also the best choice you can make for you and your family. All I'm saying is that if possible, the best situation to enter into retirement is to have no mortgage payments or large debt payments hanging over you. Next, at number 4, you'll want to develop a side hustle before you retire. It's said that the average millionaire has up to 7 streams of income, while the average non-millionaire only has 1. It's stating the obvious, but in terms of getting to the goal of saving up to your core retirement position, having a side hustle is a great way to help expedite that process. In addition, if you have a side hustle that's something you really enjoy, you could easily take that full-time when you retire and potentially even grow that into a full-time income. And at the very least, in case there's ever a major financial crash that comes in the future, having at least one additional steady source of earned income is always a good idea. If you'd like some ideas on what might be a good side income for you, then check out this video here. And lastly, the most important thing you need to have before you retire is a purpose in your retirement. There are so many people that have romanticized ideas of traveling the world and sipping on martinis at luxury resorts when they retire. But what they fail to realize is that those things can be fun for a while, maybe the first 6 months into retirement. But after that, without an actual purpose in your retirement, it can quickly become incredibly boring and even a bit depressing. To go from working so hard in the last 30 to 40 years to suddenly not having anything productive to do at all can seem like hitting a brick wall to some people. A 2012 study in the Journal of Happiness Studies by Elizabeth Horner of UC Berkeley found that retirees experience a sugar rush of well-being and life satisfaction directly after retirement, followed by a sharp decline in happiness a few years later. You see, for many people, work brings a sense of usefulness and resolve within them, and suddenly losing that can bring about a sense of isolation and worthlessness. I mean, how ironic is that? You work so hard to escape your 9-to-5 grind to get to retirement, only to feel lost and purposeless. So you see, the key to retirement isn't just relaxing and having fun. The key is to pursue something you've always wanted to do, something you have a passion for, something that'll drive a sense of inner worth for you, without having to worry about any of the distractions of life, like how you're going to pay for your next mortgage payment, or whether or not you can afford to go out to dinner the next day, etc. That's the real objective of retirement. For me, there's so many things that I want to do when I retire. I'd love to mentor young working professionals and help them navigate their careers. I'd love to one day write a book or become a published author in a journal. Photography is also a hobby of mine, and I'd love to get more in depth on that field. And I'd love to dedicate even more time and energy into this YouTube channel and connect even more with you guys that support me on the platform. I've always wanted to fly. It'd be amazing to get my recreational pilot's license. And of course, on top of all of that, I'd love to spend more quality time with my wife and daughter. You see, in retirement, I plan to work harder and longer every day than I do now. The only difference will be that I'll be doing something out of a greater sense of passion and purpose for myself rather than working for a large Fortune 500 company. Just retiring is not enough. You have to retire well. And retiring well means being financially complete and having a purpose for yourself beyond your working life stage. So I hope this video gave you some insights and inspiration into what it takes to retire and what mindset you need to adopt to get you there. And I know that for many of us, retirement seems like just a pipe dream, but never underestimate the power of small compounding actions, both in your finances and your lifestyle habits. If you continue to make small positive changes every single day, then one day you'll look back and see how truly far you've come. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this one, then make sure you check out the financial freedom playlist I've got down below in the description section. With that, thanks for joining me today on Daniel's Brew, and we'll see you next time.